Have you always wanted to go to Disney but don't know where to begin or like how you're gonna pay for it? Well, this video is for you. In today's video, I'm gonna show you all the ways that I've saved money for Disney. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lauren. I'm a full-time working mom. We live in New Jersey. I work in New York. I have a 2-year-old daughter named Lucia. My husband and I love to travel. I love to go to Disney, so I'm always looking for a side hustle to try to make that happen. Let's get started. Well, the first way that I use to save money is called Rakuten. Rakuten is pretty straightforward. It's if you want to make a purchase, like let's say you're wanting to buy a Christmas present at Macy's or whatever, you go to the Rakuten website or the app on your phone and you type in Macy's and it will redirect you. You find Macy's and let's say they're offering you 3% cash back or 10% cash back. You click on their link, it redirects you to the Macy's website, and then you now earn cash back for whatever the amount of your purchase is. So depending on what the percentages they're offering, because there are a lot of times Rakuten will have sales where sometimes Macy's, let's say, is only 1 or 3%. Sometimes it could be like 10% or even 18%. I know, like when we did our taxes last year, I went through Rakuten and I want to say for H&R Block, I want to say it was like almost 18%. I got about, I want to say like $30 or something back. So definitely a great way to save money. The downside with them, which also could be a positive, is that they pay quarterly. They pay out quarterly. So you will get a check or directly deposited to your PayPal account every quarter, so 4 times a year. So this could be great if you don't want to touch that money and you know that money's coming and then it only comes every 3 to 4 months. That's great. Swag Bucks. Swag Bucks is a little like Rakuten, but a little bit, there's more there. So they have the shopping feature. So generally what I do is, let's just use Macy's as the example again, I'm gonna compare Macy's cashback offer at both Rakuten and at Swag Bucks and see who offers the most cashback. Sometimes it's the same, and sometimes, like I said, one of them is having like a sale or promotion and you'll get extra out of there. So Swag Bucks has the same shopping promotion as Rakuten does, and then they also have a daily trivia that you could do. They have it's called Swag IQ, during the week, I think at 8 o'clock Eastern time, they have 10 questions. You don't win a tremendous amount of money because I've won it I don't know, maybe about 10 times or so. I think the most I've ever won is close to $1. It's not a lot, but again, all those it's like 10 minutes of your time just answering trivia questions, which is kind of fun because it's kind of like a game, and sometimes you lose, whatever. But if you do win, you could get anywhere between depending on how difficult the answers were and how many people got them right. Sometimes it's 10-15 cents to $1. Like I said, I've seen it even higher if it's a really hard game. We could get it even higher, but there's a lot involved with Swag Bucks, so I could make a whole video on that one day, but we're just gonna keep it brief. So basically, yeah, you could do trivia. They also have a second trivia game that you do on your own that is not a live game, and that one you get a little bit less money. So another thing that Swag Bucks has to offer, you could play games for money, and sometimes these games are, I would say usually they pay out about $20, but sometimes you could get them all the way up to $200, which is great, and it takes about a month usually of playing the game to achieve the level that they need. But it's something you could do, if you're scrolling on your phone anyway, why not be earning money from it, right? So yeah, you could play games. Me and my sister have played pretty much every game known to man on there. They have all these different ant games. They're all kind of the same concept. There's a zombie one. They're all kind of the same concept, but they change obviously the theming. Another thing they do are surveys. The surveys I don't do so much anymore, but the surveys are great also if you have some time to kill and you just want to take, like, you know, they could be asking you any question, like it's just random. Just companies basically hire them to get feedback from other customers based on like where you shop or what items you need to shop for. How much do I make doing swag bucks? I would say generally $25 to $150 a month, and I'm really not, like, this is just basically on the higher end if I'm happen to be playing a game that month. Generally I would say 25 to 50 if I'm not playing a game and this is just trivia questions, surveys, shop, cashback. But you know, it's not a lot of money, but it all adds up, right? So what I do then for both Rakuten and Swag Bucks is I either get it transferred to my PayPal account, or I with Swag Bucks anyway, they'll issue you, they have different gift cards you could choose, even if you wanted like Applebee's, let's say, or whatever. But what I do is I usually get a virtual MasterCard. And so like I cash out at $25, they email it to my account, and then I turn around and I buy my Disney gift card with that, and I keep it separate. I keep it separate that way, because the virtual MasterCards tend to expire earlier. The other thing you could do, like I was saying, is if you cash out to PayPal, you can transfer the money right to your checking. And then what I do, which I'm going to talk about in step 2, is getting a Target debit card. If you're not familiar with these cards yet, Target offers both a debit card and a credit card. I don't have the Target credit card. I'm not sure. I'm sure there are advantages to having it, but for me, I am given the same advantages just like the credit card. So they offer 5% cash back. So what I do is I take my PayPal from my Swag Bucks winnings, transfer the money to my checking, and then I know now I could go to Target online or even in the store or whatever, and I can now buy a $25 Disney gift card, and I'll get the 5% off. Yes, it's only what, $1.25 or $1.50 off or something, but when you factor in that Disney can sometimes cost like $5,000, that could easily turn into like $250 that you're saving. So, you know, all that little bit adds up. And if it takes you 2-3 years to do it, like, hey, at least like it wasn't anything extra you had to do. It's just, you know, doing your little surveys or whatever. The next thing I have used is a place in New Jersey. There's 2 locations. You might want to Google this by you. The company that I use by me is called Consumer Product Testing. I know that they have different, so the company I use, like I said, it has 2 locations by me, but my friend actually goes to another one, and it's like, there are several in our state, is what I'm trying to say, in different capacities, different companies. So if I were you, just try to Google like consumer product testing in Wyoming or wherever you happen to live. And I have tested anything between like lotion, eyeliner, teeth whitening, even though my teeth don't look so bright. I probably need to go back and test some of those products. What else do they do? Pretty much any like cosmetic product they need testing, and nothing, I've never had, knock on wood, never had an allergic reaction to it. My daughter's actually tested baby wipes from them before, about a year ago when she was a baby, and I did not use her money for Disney. I transferred that money to her college fund, but I'm just showing you like there are a myriad of things products that need to be tested. I know when we were growing up in Wisconsin, also like both of my sisters did this through Kimberly Clark. They also had theirs. So, you know, just Google Google that and see if there's something available to you in your state, because honestly it's easy money, and this could get you an extra like maybe $200 or so a month just by doing something so simple. I know like the eyeliner or like the other ones, the take-home product ones, pay a little bit less by me. It's usually about $75, but you just have to go twice. You go once to pick up the product, You return it, you tell them how you like it, and that's it. Not only did you get free makeup for the week or whatever, but then you also got paid for it. So it's an easy win, right? I also have a Costco credit card. Costco credit card gives us excellent cash back. I use it every time I'm in Costco. Last year, I managed to get about $700 back from them. And this is just by buying diapers, dog food, milk, eggs, products you're buying at Costco anyway. So if you're good with using your credit card and you could handle it responsibly, I think it's a great way to save money for Disney. We actually didn't use ours. We usually use it for like our daughter's birthday party. We usually have a big birthday party. And a lot of times, you know, we're buying like hamburgers, hot dogs, beer, or whatever. So generally, like, we use our cash back for that. Piggybacking off of that, you could get a Disney Visa. I believe, yeah, the Disney Visa card. They offer a $300 statement credit on your first month. I think you have to spend about $1,000, which in today's economy, we all know that is easy to do just by, you could pay your gas and electric bill, you could pay your gas for your car or something, and just set aside the money you would have spent from your checking and then just pay it off right away. And that's one way easy to get $300. Now, would I say that the Disney credit card is one of the best out there? No, I would not say that. However, it is good in relation to if you're going to Disney, because they have a special character meet that's only for the credit card holders. I've used this on my last 2 trips. You do need to bring the credit card just to show them, but you get like a private thing. I believe some of the other parks might have this too, but I've only gone to the one at Epcot. I always seem to forget about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have this. And then we're able to meet Pluto and I think Minnie Mouse there. I know that the characters rotate, and it just so happens both times I've went, those were the characters of choice that they had to offer me. They also offer a 0% financing for select Disney vacations. So that's great if you could put your $200 down, which is what Disney requires to book a trip. Put that in your credit card. Now you have 6 months to come up with that just the $200. Even they allow you to finance that. Airline rewards are also a great way to save money if you get the airline credit cards. I actually got a JetBlue credit card about 2 years ago now, and when you sign up, again, they have a special promotion similar to Disney, only theirs, they give you a boatload of points. So I just checked before I started making this video, and with JetBlue, I think again you got to spend the $1,000, and then after your first month, then they'll give you, or once you complete the $1,000, then they will give you 50,000 bonus points or miles. So you want to check whatever airline is that is your main hub of what you think you're going to fly more frequently, and you want to check, because this could be great either for using miles to come up with for your trip for your airfare, or you could use it just down the road if you want to go somewhere farther away that costs more money. I have not used my airline points yet. I'm banking them because my hope is one day that we could go on an all-inclusive vacation and have everyone's paid for, since JetBlue is known to fly to places like Dominican Republic and the Caribbean. So that's what I plan to do with all mine. Why I'm bringing this up in this video is that JetBlue, one of the things I really like about them for traveling to Disney is not only do they have their own hub in Orlando Airport, Terminal C, they also have a big hub in Newark by me. So I do have a direct flight, and when you are a JetBlue credit card holder, you not only get your luggage for free, 2 companions can fly with you and also get their first luggage for free. Alright, I'm back. I had to take a short break because my daughter woke up, and it's impossible to get anything done when she's awake. So Jose just took her to the park. The next thing I have done this year to save money for my upcoming trip is Poshmark and eBay. Now, in the past, I've never sold anything on Poshmark before. When I did some research, I noticed that they're one of the highest platforms the platform with one of the highest selling fees. However, I have recently sold, I've had pretty much good luck selling some of my Stony Clover on there and some of my daughter's old Disney outfits from when she was a baby. So you might want to try to list things. There's a lot of stuff that I still have on my Poshmark that haven't sold. I don't know if it's just that I have them priced too high, but sometimes like you have to price them a little higher because of the fees are just so high. At the end of the day, you're only end up making like $1 or something. And in that case, you might as well just go to your local Once Upon a Child store, which is actually another, I don't have that on my list, but that's actually another good way to save money. If you have a Once Upon a Child store, like one of those resale kind of stores by you, I would definitely consider bringing some of your kids' old clothes that don't fit and seeing if you're able to get any cash for those. Also, eBay. So eBay, I've had an account with them for over 20 years, and I don't sell a lot of things on there, but when I do, I have pretty good luck. So I have sold one of my Stony Clovers on there and had great luck with that one. And most recently, I actually sold my Mayor popcorn bucket that I got from the Halloween party, and I sold it for like, I want to say like $75, and I only paid, I think Disney sells them for, it was like about $30 in the park. So I made a profit, turned around, sold my popcorn bucket, and I now use those funds for my trip. All right, the next thing. On my last saving for Disney video that I did like almost a year ago, I hadn't attempted this yet, and I know that could be maybe controversial, but I have tried it this year. I think my husband was mortified that I did this, but I think it's a great way to save, is by donating your plasma. Now, hear me out. I was always like the one that was so chicken growing up, and I think after all I've been through, like with 2 births and everything, I decided to give it a chance, and it's actually not that bad. The only pain you really feel is when the needle initially goes in. After that, I'm just scrolling through my phone for about an hour. It generally takes about an hour. Your first appointment, I was there about 3 hours, but not with intravenously or whatever you call it. They do like a training video. They have to get you all registered in their system. So the first appointment does take longer. After that, you're generally in and out of there in an hour, hour and a half. But the actual procedure, I think, is about 50 minutes. I try to bring like a big thing of water when I went, and I also had some liquid IV that I drank to try to get it out faster. But I have not actually completed any donations since probably last July, so nothing from this trip. Everything was from my September trip went into that. But your first month, you're generally going to make the most out of any other donation. They allow you to go twice a week, and if you go like 4 weeks, you could generally make about almost $800 depending on which company you go with. Again, some pay higher than others. The highest paying in the country, we don't have any location by me. I think the closest one, I forgot what that blood bank is called, but when I Googled it, the closest one to me was down in South Jersey, so it wouldn't make sense to go. So there's one about a half hour from me that I was going to. I haven't been able to get there because they're not open for me on the weekends, and because of my hours now that I have to be into work 5 days a week full time, it's not convenient for me anymore. There is another location I think that is open on Saturdays that I do need to check out, because honestly, it's like the easiest money in the world. I know my husband, he's mortified, but if your husband's not like that and you could get 2 people going, think about that. That's $1,600 right there in 1 month that you could possibly go if both of you go. This one definitely might be is sports gambling, online sports gambling. I am not a big gambler, but I have earned money the last couple of years by playing DraftKings, or using the DraftKings website, also FanDuel. So as I've mentioned in like my last video that I made last year, I am not like a big gambler. I only really do this during football season. That's when I tend to have the most luck, maybe because I understand the rules of football a little bit. But they have a lot of promotions where you can increase your bet. Some are risk-free bets, so you might spend $10 and if you lose your bet, they'll give you another free one back. So generally what I do is I start off with like a small amount of money at the beginning of the football season, maybe $20, $50, and I keep playing with my winnings. So I don't make super large bets. I know this could be highly addictive if you have that kind of personality, which would not be good. But if you are a person that could, like me, just do it for fun on the weekends and bet small amounts of money, it can easily add up. Last year, I didn't make quite as much. I think I ended up cashing out like a couple $100 at the end of the season. I always wait until Super Bowl. I play with the same winnings and then I cash it out and I leave just a little bit of money in there for the next season. But other than that, I cash it out and it's all for Disney. The year before, I had a lot more. I think I made about $1,200. I have not been doing that well this year. I haven't had to add any money yet, knock on wood, but it's like, it seems like every time I get down to $10, then I win and I get up to 100. But that's kind of how the roller coaster's been the last 16 weeks or so of the season. So I'm not counting on a lot of big winnings for Disney, but it might, if it could give you an extra $20, why not, right? The next thing is a small money. I'm not expecting a huge payout of this. I generally only make $10 to $20 a year, but again, this is something that barely costs you any time or effort to do. It's a website called Evidation or Evidation. So basically it's hooked up to, if you have a smartwatch like a Fitbit, or now my Fitbit died, so I just upgraded to the Google Watch, which I have hooked up. Google owns Fitbit now, if you didn't know. I think you could probably hook up your iWatch, your Apple Watch, maybe also. So it basically just monitors your sleep, your steps, or whatever. If you feel comfortable with these companies having that information, to me, I don't know, like maybe I'll regret it in the future, but I have been doing it the last few years and I don't know, it doesn't matter to me. So basically all your logins that it automatically syncs for you, you get points basically for all that. And then also like on Mondays, they send me an email with like how you did your stats for the week. They'll send articles, like health related articles, like just about random stuff like diabetes or things that like stuff that maybe you've never heard of that doesn't even affect you, but you could click on the article and you get points for that. And then also they have some health related surveys that again don't take that much time out of your day, and you could get things like that. Again, the payout is not that high. They pay out at $10, but I usually keep my money in there and wait till it gets to $20. That way I can use again all that money for Disney. Again, not a huge thing, but if you do a lot of these, it all adds up and it will make a difference, trust me. But yeah, I don't know, maybe if you're someone that is like, I don't want to be bothered and you're okay paying out of pocket with you, then good for you. But a lot of us out here, obviously if you're clicking on this video, it means that you are looking for ways to save money. So this is what I do. Another thing you could do to save money for Disney is, why not go on a Disney trip with one of your friends? I am not a single mom. Sometimes I act like it just because I'm always bringing my daughter by myself to Disney, since my husband isn't like a big Disney fan. But in my June trip, I actually went to Disney with one of my best friends and her mom and her dad actually, and we split the cost of the hotel room, and it worked out in our favor because I think for my June trip with airfare and everything, I think I only spent around $1,000, and honestly I probably could have gotten that down a lot more because the hotel wasn't that much for a whole, I think we were there 7 or 8 days, and yeah, I think airfare and hotel ended up being $1,000, maybe slightly higher, and then of course with food, alcohol, whatever, it ended up raising that price. We did a lot of character dining actually on that trip as well. Anyway, that might be a great way if you are like me, that you want to go to Disney, your husband doesn't want to go, or your girlfriend or whoever. Bring a friend. Split the cost of the hotel room. It's not going to save you on the tickets. You still have to pay for the tickets out of pocket. You can't split those, but the hotel and maybe the food cost will. Also, you could order Amazon or Walmart. You could have groceries delivered to your hotel. I know this is a whole nother video, but just something to keep in mind. Maybe I'll have to make another video about ways to save money while you're at Disney. But yeah, you can order groceries there, which also would save you money, help bring the cost down. The next thing is Robinhood. Okay, so I have a Robinhood account. It's stocks. Again, stock market, gotta be careful. Don't be blowing your life savings on there. How I treat my Robinhood account is any extra money that maybe I would have spent on a night out with my husband, or maybe not even that. Maybe I'm only investing like $10 or $20, and I have invested in some like small penny stocks. I have actually Disney stocks. I have Ford. Ironically, I randomly, when I was Googling one day, like about new stocks to get, I ended up buying 3 shares in a company that my friend worked at. I didn't even know she worked there, but actually is doing really well now. So you don't have to like invest a lot of time or be very knowledgeable. Again, I wouldn't throw like a lot of money at that, but I got really lucky too, because during COVID, I actually had some of the stocks for Moderna, and I think I only paid like $20 or $30 for them, and I ended up selling them for I think at the high it was like $175 each. So again, took all that money out. That was my Disney trip right there. You know, you never know. I have a lot of losers too, but it's not costing me really any extra money. It's just spare money that I would have spent like going out with my friends or just going to Target and blowing $10, $20 here. I really honestly don't deposit that money in. I honestly haven't deposited money into my Robinhood account in quite some time. I probably need to get back on that, as I have a trip coming up in the next 20 days. One thing to keep in mind though is that for your gains, you do have to pay capital gains tax at the end of the year, which might offset that. But anyway, that's another great cost saving tip that I found. The next thing is Acorns. So I imagine that you could do this at a lot of your banks, so you do not necessarily have to do this with Acorns, but they have like a keep the change or roundup account. So I have it hooked up to my online account. I don't have an checking or a savings with Acorn per se. This is a separate, well, I guess it would be a savings. It's like a separate investment account. I have it hooked up to my checking, which is at a different institution. So basically, like, let's say you buy something for 95 cents, it's going to tally up that extra 5 cents and it's going to put it into that account. So it does that. In addition, I think we only put like I think I move about $10 a month that just gets taken out on top of that, but it adds up. Honestly, like we have about 700 in that account right now, so that's all waiting for Disney. I actually did withdraw a few hundred for Christmas, and that's another tip, I guess, for Christmas. If you don't end up doing this for Disney, you could do it also for Christmas money or another vacation fund. But again, it just rounds up your extra change that maybe you wouldn't even, honestly, we don't even notice it coming out. That's how little, but it does add up to a few $100s a year. So this is not really like a how to come up with money necessarily, but this is another cost saving tip for Disney, is to buy your park merchandise ahead of time. You can get, they have, Disney often has friends and family sales, and they also have their huge blowout sale that's twice a year, which is actually going on right now. So you can generally, I have bought my daughter her bubble wands in the past online there, and I can score them for sometimes as low as like $14 or $15. I'll save them, put them in my park bag, and that way you're not spending $40 on a bubble wand at the park. So again, not a way to necessarily pay for your trip, but to save money that you're gonna spend, I guess, at the trip anyway. You could try to reduce that to, I don't know, whatever. Just my 2 cents of something you could do. So I would definitely look into doing something like that. And I think that concludes, this is the last tip for my video. Become an Amazon affiliate. So I only have, at the time I'm making this video, roughly about 300, almost 350 subscribers. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really love it if you would subscribe to my channel or give this video a like, because honestly it costs you nothing and it really does help me out, and I'm a small channel and I'm growing and I would really love it. Hopefully you're finding this video useful. That being said, I am an Amazon affiliate. However, I don't have one of those fancy shops that a lot of people have. Amazon does not allow you to do that until you get enough subscribers. I don't know, they don't have something listed on, I don't know if it's 1,000 or if it's as low as 500. If it's 500, that means I'm doing pretty good and I'm on the right track. If it's 1,000, I have a long way to go yet. But basically, like, what an Amazon affiliate is that you can sign up for an account. They'll create an account, you go into your Amazon, and let's say you have like a new makeup product, or let's say you have a makeup product that you're interested in and you would like to share it with your friends. You click on that page and you hit the arrow that says share. They'll give you a link, and basically it's a commissionable link where you could share it to your friends either on text message, email, you could put on your Facebook, you could put it on Instagram, on your story, you could put it on Pinterest. You share it, and anytime somebody clicks on it, you get commission. So not that necessarily that you don't get commission just for clicking on it, but here is where it's going to help you. Let's say your friend clicks on it, but then they're like, I don't really like that. However, let's say they make a purchase in their Amazon account like within the next day or so, you'll get commission on something that maybe you didn't even suggest, but just because you brought them to Amazon, you will get commission for that. This really helped me out in June, or in July, for the big Amazon Prime Day sale. I have a lot of my links posted. If I would really honestly really appreciate it if you have anything to buy on Amazon, you could go through one of my links, and it doesn't even have to be Disney related, it could be anything. But if you click on one of my links that I'll put in the comments below, that's going to allow me to create more content, go on more Disney trips, and create more content for you. So again, it costs you absolutely nothing, and it would really help support the channel. So that being said, that is my last tip for how to save money for your upcoming Disney trip. I hope you found this content useful. There's a lot of information, I know, and we will see you in the next one. See you real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I've been all around the world, every city, every place, always